so excited. I'm introducing the new collection that I'm coming out with very soon, probably within the next couple weeks. It's going to be my twist on a Halloween collection. Super obvious for Halloween, but since I love reading and it's such an important part of my life, I kind of wanted to use that as the inspiration for the upcoming collection for Halloween. And it's called Dastardly Deeds, Famous Villains in Literature. So all of the eyeshadows I'm coming out with are based on villains in some of my favorite classic novels. So I'll kind of explain the colors that I'm working on. I have two right now that I've made, and they're both matte colors, and I am wearing them today on my eyes and on my lips actually. I want to develop lip gloss down the line, but something cool you can do with pigments too, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, if you have clear lip gloss, you can actually mix in, as long as they're lip safe, and I always mark that in the ingredients, you can mix in some pigment into your clear lip gloss and make your own custom lip glosses. So that's what I did with this, and this shade is called Moriarty, and I'm wearing it on my lips right now. And I just used the e.l.f. Clear Conditioning Lip Gloss. Like, I've had it in my collection and just wanted to experiment. So it was really easy to do. I just took a sanitized tweezer. Like, you clean it with rubbing alcohol, and then I just used that to stir it, and I had these little pots lying around, so I just stirred it into that and made this pretty lip gloss. So I do have ingredient labels for my products now. The only one I haven't resolved yet are the eyeshadows, because they're so small. They're like this size. It's really hard to fit ingredient labels on there. So what I'm doing for now, until I can figure out something better, is I'm putting them in little plastic baggies, and I have the ingredients on the plastic bag. So you will have the ingredients with each of your purchases, and the full size do have ingredient labels like this. You can see that. So you will be getting those if you order from me from now on. First color up in my collection, a color called Mrs. Danvers, and it's showing up more royal blue on the screen, but when applied it ends up being a little bit darker. And I can swatch it for you. I'm going to swatch it with the e.l.f. Mineral Primer. And there it is swatched. It's a beautiful dark matte navy. I even threw in a little purple undertone to it, so it's just a really beautiful deep blue color. And I used magnesium mistrate to help with the color adhesion and to help it stay on your eyelids throughout the day. And I also use magnesium stearate, so it's not chalky. It's going to look creamy on your skin. It's not going to look ashy and chalky. So my lids, for a base, I used Urban Decay's 24/7 pencil in 0, and I love using black under matte navy colors. I think that it just really makes it intense and just keeps the color really true on the eyelid. Mattes are harder to work with, it's true, than shimmery eyeshadows, but they're so worth it. They're so pretty. It goes a long way, and I do recommend waiting on your foundation, your concealer, until you are done with your eyeshadow look, but I recommend that for any dark, smoky eyeshadow looks, because you'll get fallout. That's just natural when you're doing eyeshadow looks. So if you've read the book Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, it's a really scary kind of thriller mystery book. It reminds me a little bit of Jane Eyre as far as like the storyline goes. She takes care of Max de Winter, and she was obsessed with Rebecca de Winter, and Rebecca had died a couple years previous to the story under mysterious circumstances. She drowned in the ocean. So the color is based on the dark blue of like the stormy ocean, basically, and Mrs. Danvers really does not like that Max has a new wife. So she tries everything she can to thwart her and to get Mr. De Winter to divorce her, basically. And when that doesn't work, she tries to get her to commit suicide by jumping into the ocean. So yeah, she's like a super, super villain. She's really creepy and obsessive. but I thought she'd be perfect for this eyeshadow series. And yeah, the matte blue is basically the stormy ocean that she wanted her mistress to jump into. But basically, Mrs. Danvers is super creepy. The next color I have is Moriarty, and it is what I mixed into my lip gloss as well. And it is a pretty close dupe of, I want to say NARS Grenadines. It is a matte red color, and it's a little bit brickish red, but not quite that orange. It's got a slight brown undertone to it, but it is really, really pretty. I would say it's probably a little bit more pigmented than NARS Grenadines from the swatches I've seen of that. And you can do so much with this because this is a lip safe pigment. I used some of that in my crease to warm it up. You can see that at the very top, it kind of just warms it up a little bit. So it's a really versatile color. I think it would be, it's also really gorgeous with gold eyeshadow. It's really gorgeous if you blend out gold eyeshadow with it. And it makes blue eyes pop really well. Moriarty is Sherlock Holmes's arch nemesis, if you weren't sure who that was. I know there was a movie out recently with Robert Downey Jr. It wasn't my favorite, but there's also a BBC miniseries called Sherlock. Highly recommend that. That is such a good take on Sherlock Holmes. It's really good. But yeah, Moriarty is his arch nemesis, and the color is inspired by those Victorian smoking jackets, kind of like what Hugh Hefner wears, but you know, they wore them way before he did. But yeah, it's based on that, because I can picture him just like sitting around smoking a pipe and contemplating all the evil plans he's going to do against Sherlock Holmes. So that's where the color inspiration came from. The rest of the collection, basically my ideas for it, and I ordered some supplies, so I'm just waiting for them to get here. I'm going to make DeVille, Cruella DeVille by Dodie Smith. It's not just a movie, it's a really good book. Dodie Smith also wrote I Captured the Castle, which is one of my favorite books of all time. 101 Dalmatians was made into a book first, so I think it fits into my series. And she's obviously the #1 evil villain because she's trying to kill and murder puppies. I mean, come on. I want to do a matte white for that with rainbow holographic glitter. So that's going to be really, really, really pretty. I also am going to do Wicked, which is the Wicked Witch of the West, and from Wizard of Oz. And obviously that was a book first by Frank Baum. So that is going to be a Kelly green color. I have to use Lake dyes for that if I'm going to get it like the true Kelly green color. So I will list that when I post it up, so you guys can choose if you want to buy it or not. But to achieve that really bright green color, I will have to use some Lake dyes for that. So, but yeah, basically it's going to be a Kelly green color with gold shimmer in it. It's going to be gorgeous. I also got the suggestion to do Mr. Hyde from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like a deep brown with green duochrome, because the duochrome would kind of represent the alter egos, like how the color will shift when his personalities change. So that's going to be Hyde, which is what I'm calling the shadow. Oh, and I'm doing Dracula, which is going to be a matte black with red-orange coppery glitter. So yeah, it's going to be a really cool collection. I'm super excited, and I've ordered the materials. They should be here within the next week, so I'm so excited. But I'm going to be selling them together as a set for like a discounted price. I'm thinking like 6 for $20 is what I'm going to sell them for, because they'd originally go for about $4.75 a piece, so you're saving about $5 basically. So I'm going to be selling them as a set for $20, and then I will be selling them individually as well. I will not be doing samples for this collection just because it's a limited edition collection. If you want to order them, you probably should order the full size, because they're not going to be around for very long. So they're just going to be full size, but I will of course have swatches on my Facebook page and on my Artfire store, and I'll be doing looks with these so you can see if it's something that you would be interested in or not. Also, rice paper will make a really, really awesome vampire base if you aren't super pale. Like if you just want to like blank out your face and make it really pale. And I'm thinking I might do a matte white foundation, but we'll see what the demand is for it. Like, I'd need to see if you guys would actually be interested in that, because I already have a lot of work to do for these eyeshadows. So I'm going to be doing custom labels for this collection. I'm going to be drawing them myself and working with my husband to make them. It's just going to be a really fun Halloween collection without being super obvious. So, and I know all of you book lovers out there will enjoy this collection too. So